Hooty-hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. It's Monday. Stock market's back open. It's August 9th. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here today. So what's going on in the market? Well, we got the Dow Jones down a little. We got the NASDAQ up a little, but we're pretty flat. No fireworks yet. Will there be fireworks later in the week? Possibly. Now, can the market continue to go up forever? It's been up 6 straight months. This is the seventh month, and it looks like it's going higher here. Yes, it can. It can just keep going up. They keep printing money. It can keep going up. Okay, so I'm betting that it's going to go down. I'm betting that we're going to have a pullback. Now, I'm not betting on the crash just yet. I do believe we're going to get a crash, just not yet. I'm betting that the market is going to have a pullback either this month or next month. We'll see if I'm right. Now, I'm a contrarian a lot of times, and one of my trades that I have on is the gold and silver trade. Now, again, it's getting spanked hard today. Again, now I put this trade on Friday. I'm already underwater. Now, am I happy about that? No, well, maybe a little bit, because you know why? I added to it again today. Now, maybe I'm crazy. This is just what I'm doing. I'm a gambler, and I'm adding to that trade. The reason I'm adding to that trade is because I think the market has it wrong. I think this market has it wrong. Now, price is truth. I mean, you can't bet against what the price is, and the price of gold and silver is continuing to fall. But I got my positions positioned all the way to December. I got a lot of time here. Now, I don't usually add to a losing trade, but I added today. I added to my gold and silver trade. I added to the miners. Why? Because I'm out till December, which gives me about 5 months' time. Now, I'm willing to bet just in 2 months that gold and silver will be higher than they are right now. We'll see if I'm right. That's just what I'm doing. Now, what I want to talk about is, let's start with inflation. Now, the government, they admit that we got 5% inflation, right? That's what the government's admitting to. Now, if you go on shadow stats, you'll see that inflation is really running at 14%. Now, why doesn't the government say it's at 14%? Well, the government doesn't like to say that there's inflation, because if there's inflation, they have to do something about it. Now, I think they should do something about it at 5%, but that's what the government's going to stick to. Okay, what else does the government say? Well, they say that unemployment is down to 5%, also 5.4%. That's what the government's telling me. They're telling me that unemployment is at 5.4%. Really? That's interesting. Man, we sure have a lot of homeless people for, unemployment at only 5%. Why are these people all unemployed? Government will tell you that we added 900,000 jobs just in July. Well, who's taking these jobs? Shouldn't these people on unemployment come and take these jobs? Well, maybe they are, maybe they're not. I just don't believe that the real unemployment rate is 5%. You can go on shadow stats again and get the real unemployment rate. It's running probably closer to 20%, but the government will tell you it's 5%. Now, what is the real unemployment rate? Probably somewhere in between. Real inflation rate? Probably somewhere in between. Now, this is interesting. The government tells us that real wages went up 4% year over year. So people are making more money, right? Well, maybe they're making more money in nominal terms, but if you take that 4% and you subtract inflation, which I think is closer to 14%, they're really working for 10% less money, 10% less purchasing power. So really, wages went down about 10%, the real wages. Now, nominal wages, I agree with the government. They went up 4%, but real wages, they came down year over year. Okay, down about 10%. Maybe that's why people don't want to go to work. They're not getting enough money to support themselves. They're not getting enough money to pay rent. They're not getting enough money to buy food. And they definitely can't get ahead. Now, I don't really understand what we're teaching our young people, the messages that we're sending out. Now, what message are we sending out to them? Well, we're sending out to them, if you go to work, you work hard, you're not going to be able to pay your bills. So maybe you should just sit at home and have the government send you a check and not pay your bills. You don't have to pay student loans again. You don't have to pay your rent. The eviction moratorium extended out. Now, why did they extend out the eviction moratorium. Now they say Biden extended. I don't think Biden even knows what an eviction moratorium is. But his administration did extend it out for another 2 months out till October 4th. Now, of course, this is illegal. The Supreme Court ruled that the CDC doesn't have the power to extend an eviction moratorium. It's unconstitutional. But we know that the Biden administration has absolutely no respect for the Constitution or the Supreme Court because they just extended out what the Supreme Court ruled is unconstitutional. Now, I think it's going to go to court again, and maybe it goes all the way till October 4th. But what message are we sending our young people? We're sending, don't pay your rent. You're a chump if you pay your rent because you don't have to pay your rent. In California, Newsom is going to pay your rent. He's going to pay 12 months back and 3 months forward. Where's he getting the money from? He's getting the money from taxpayers. And look at, if you live in Nebraska, are you happy paying the deadbeats rent in California? I don't know if you are. You shouldn't be. You should be upset about that. But once again, what messages are we sending to our young people? We're sending, hey, go get a bunch of loans and then don't pay them. Look at, he just extended the student loans all the way out till January. Now, you don't have to pay your student loan. But yet the government's going to tell you that 95% of people are working, but don't pay your bills. Don't pay your rent. Don't pay your student loans. The message we're sending our young people is it's just terrible in my opinion. But if I was in my 20s, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be sitting at home saying, hey, send me some more stimulus. Send me my stimmy check. I'd just be sitting at home because I wouldn't have to pay my rent. Why would I go into work? I would not go into work. I'd sit at home, get that stimmy check, play my video games, go out to the bar. You know what? Why not? Why not? Is that the message we want young people to know? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. All right, let's get back to reality here. Let's talk about real interest rates. Real interest rates. Oh my goodness. Well, the government, they got it down at 1.2%, 1.27, we'll call it, for the 10-year interest rate on bonds. Really? 1.2%. They pay you 1.2%. Okay, now they're admitting they're stealing, and I use the word stealing strongly here, they're stealing 5% just in an inflation tax. Inflation is a tax. It's where the government steals your money. So they give you 1.2% on a 10-year bond, and they steal, let's call it 5.2%. So they're taking 4% of your money. But I think it's worse than that. I think they're taking close to 14%. They pay you 1.2%. You go on Shadow Stats, subtract that 14% inflation, and they're taking about 13% of your money. You know, inflation is theft. It's a tax on, well, it's a tax on everybody. But the poor people really get hurt with that tax. Rich people don't mind because they got assets. Assets continue to go up. They continue to inflate. They go higher and higher. Stock market goes higher and higher. Real estate prices goes higher and higher. Now, Mike, why isn't gold going higher and higher? Well, you know why? You know why? Because everything's in a bubble. Gold is real money, and everything's in a bubble against real money. Now, nominal money, fiat money, yeah, that we can print all we want of that. Don't worry about that. But look at against real money, houses are at a bubble. Stock market's in a bubble. The bond market's in a bubble. But it's all going to change. And I hope it changes before December because that's when my options expire. I think it's going to change in the next couple months. We'll see if I'm right. You know, this is my position. I don't think the market has it right. I don't think they're in touch with reality. I don't think that they are. Now, the messages we send into our young people, though, we got to change that message. You know, AOC, she'll tell the young people, there's no inflation. Now, this girl, I don't know. She's got a degree in economics. I got a degree in economics. Obviously, we went to different schools, you know. She's telling you that there's no inflation. There's just a problem with the supply. There's not enough supply, and there's too much demand. Now, where I went to school, that would be called inflation. reason. Too much demand and not enough supply. The reason there's too much demand is because they keep sending out this free money and people keep going out and buying stuff because they got all day to shop because they don't go to work because they got free money. They don't have to pay their bills. Man, how did our country get this way? And when's it going to change? When are we going to change course? America was built on hard work. Hard work we built this country on. And now we're telling people, be lazy. Don't pay your bills. Don't take responsibility for anything. The government will bail you out. This is not the message I want young people to know. It is not the message that the United States was built on. We got to change the course, and we got to change it soon. Now, do I think we're going to change that course? No, I do not. I think it's going to get much worse. I think we're going to print a lot more money than we're printing right now. I think the printing press is just going to keep going. Now, look, they say, they're saying inflation's at 5%. They say unemployment's down to 5%. This would be the normal time to start raising interest rates. But they can't raise interest rates. Why? Because the U.S. would default. Can they lower interest rates? No, they're already at zero. Interest rates aren't going anywhere. No matter what people tell you, interest rates are going to stay the same. They're not going anywhere. Anyways, so they can't raise interest rates. People think they are, and that's why gold and silver are tumbling down. They think the Fed's going to come to the rescue and raise interest rates like Paul Volcker did in the 70s. He raised interest rates to 20%. Yeah, I'm telling you, Federal Reserve, you raise interest rates to 2%, stock market crashes, real estate crashes, U.S. defaults. They're not going to ever raise interest rates. That's why the market has it wrong on gold and silver, and I think I'm going to be proven correct. Now, could I be wrong? Absolutely. I'm a stock market gambler. I get things wrong all the time, but I think I'm going to be right on this one. If you like this stuff, give me the thumbs up. You really like this stuff, punch that subscribe button so we can talk more. Me and you, we're going to talk more later in the week. I think we got some fireworks coming to the stock market. We'll see. I think there's going to be fireworks this week. Anyways, get out there. Have a great Monday, everybody, and we'll talk again really soon. I'm Tall Mike. Bye-bye now.